we go up in this house. I got the work in my purse, and the dude puts the gun up to me. When he puts the gun up to me, though, he's shaking. Wow. Prior to him pulling the gun up to me, though, he already had been shot up real bad by a friend of mine. He had got shot up, and I didn't know this, but he knew this. He had already been shot up. He had a shit bag on his hip. So he didn't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? As far as he didn't know how he was going to react. He kept asking over and over and over. Whose car is that? Whose car is that? He wanted to know the car that I was in, because the car that I was in, I was affiliated with people that was Crips. Mm-hmm. So he wanted to make sure it wasn't one of their cars, because he seen one of them driving my car before. And when he kept asking me, I got smart with him. I guess he was like, bitch, I'm about to do you. Wow. So when he raised the gun, I dropped the dope and we ran.
Hello. This is Sade from Meet the Shoe.
And Nina.
And today we're going to talk about the signs of self-destruction before you caught your case.
The calm before the storm.
The calm before the storm. Oh, my God.
Yes. Okay. So what happened to you before you even caught a case and went to prison? Let's say the first time. What was the signs of the events that led up to it? Because they say you just take a dry case. You always have something, a warning sign before you go. So what was the calm before the storm? What was the warning sign that you got to say, slow down, sit down, back up, change your life, go in the other direction, get in another lane, get out this lane?
Right. And I was being hard-headed. Mm-hmm. So, the very first time I went to prison, I was pretty young. I was a teenager. Right. But a lot of times we would stand out on the block. Mm-hmm. And we stood out on the block a lot. All day, every day.
Right. And did you work shift? That was your job.
Right. This certain cop would just stop me.
Okay. You remember his name?
Officer Woody.
Okay. Woody.
And then I forgot the other cop, his black guy, chunky, chubby, older man.
Okay.
But, just different signs. He was pull me over, frisk me down, have a woman frisk me down and see me with money and take the money and give me a forfeiture piece of paper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and back then, that's in the 90s. Back then, they could take your money. Yes. They could take your clothes. They could take anything that was on your person, and they just write you a ticket. Yes. Keep it moving.
Right.
Take it home to their family. Never turn it in. They never even write a report.
And then the bad part about it, if you did get the letter, on the forfeiture paper says you had to show proof of this money you had. Right. So I didn't have a job. So what the heck I'm going to go say, hey, he took $1,000 from me. He took $500. Oh, well, so what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just go back and get another stash and come back out.
Some more. That's right.
So, just different little instances like that. One time, I sold to an informant.
Okay. How'd you know he was an informant?
It was, I felt eerie, kind of.
Okay.
I've never seen him on the block on Chicago Lake. Never seen this guy.
Okay.
Tall guy. Black, tall guy. And I've never seen him before, and somebody brought him to me that usually run for me.
Okay.
And he won 100, a 200 piece or something like that. And I gave, gave it to dude, and dude gave it to him. Mm-hmm. So mind you, I left to go home really quick. And came back out probably 4 hours later. Right. And that time, I didn't know the police was probably circling, looking for me, the undercover, the narcs. Right. So when I came back, I just see a bunch of cars I'm hearing all this noise. Right. I'm getting ready to walk into Sonny's bar. This is the bar everybody go. Okay. And I just took the sack and just threw it in the doorway.
Right. That's right.
I'm 18 years old. Right. You know what I'm saying? I just threw it in the doorway. And it's like, come here. And they call me Shay. Come here, Shay. Right. And grabbed me up, roughed me up real quick and put me in the car. Right. And they went and grabbed the sack. Said, is this yours? I said, no, that ain't mine. Right. You know what I'm saying? I said, y'all can't put that on me. I said, possession is 9/10 of the law.
You told them that you knew something.
Right.
You knew something.
You ain't seen me put that there. I said, all the people that walk past there, they might have did it coming out the box.
Right.
So They locked me up, and I got out that night.
Okay.
You know, it wasn't. They said come back to court later.
Right.
But yeah, it's just different things was happening.
Okay. What happened to your next? What happened at your next situation before you land yourself in jail?
The next situation was
we were older then.
Yes, having a birthday party.
Right.
And the cops pull us over.
Okay. And
I'm like, why are you pulling us over? Talking about tinted windows. We've been having this car here, God knows how long. The windows was tinted. It was manufacturing tint, so it wasn't that dark. Right. So, okay. But something in my gut was telling me something was wrong.
Something was going on, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, 2 weeks before that, I had a dream. Okay. And my dream was that I got raided and went to jail.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, I just dismissed it like, oh, it's just a dream, you know. Mm-hmm. Then they stopped the car, the 28th of that September. Okay. And searching the car is like, what's this button for? Mm-hmm. Asking different little stuff about the car at the time.
So you think someone
told? It was a Chevy, yeah. So somebody's telling something. Right. You know
so for them to ask what was going on inside the car. And the guns in the car, asking little questions like that. You know, guns and drugs. I'm like, guns and drugs? I said, and this is a regular police. Why are you asking all these questions? Right. So we dismissed that. They let us go. We parked the car and go in the house. Not pay attention. So they were outside of the house?
They was like around the corner from us. Okay. And around the corner, that's where they pulled us. Over around the corner, and then when they let us go, we was able to go park probably 4 or 5 houses down. We was off the corner. Right. Okay. So 5 days later, they kicked the door in. Okay. So my dream was that it was accurate. It was head on, just right then and there.
So that was the second time you went to prison? Was when they raided the second time? Okay. So did you find out who told on, who raided you out?
Oh yeah, we found out. He set up like 28 people or so at the time.
What did the snitch do to get himself into trouble, to think he should have came to snitch on y'all for him to get out of trouble? Because I know he didn't get out of trouble after he snitched on y'all.
Well, for one thing, I think it was a child abuse case or something like that.
Oh my God.
His stepdaughter or something like that. What? It wasn't no drugs or anything. It was something, yeah. And he got mad at some other drug dealers that, kind of jumped on him and stuff like that. So he was targeted towards them first. But he's saying that he can make $100 a sting. So he just started telling on everybody. Yes, girl. So you get him
$100 off of setting you up?
Every time he came to purchase something for somebody. Every purchase he got $100 for.
Oh my God.
He had like a lot of purchases.
Okay, so it was like he was just trying to get himself out of trouble. But then when they told him, hey, if you set these people up, you can make some money. Yes. So to him, it was a job.
It was a job.
The police and it was being slick.
He was able to move out of the state, and they relocated him and everything. Oh.
Okay. Well.
What about yours?
Okay. And so when I very first time I got caught up, I was on Park in Franklin. In our area, right? So I was hanging out there. There's a park across the street. Yeah. And I remember this was a time when after I got out, you and Tiny, you guys came and met me after I had got out, right? So on that case, the eerie thing about it was early that morning when I got up, I put my clothes on, but I had a gut feeling. I kept saying I just didn't know what it was. I had just this weird feeling, and I seen somebody that I used to this girl T that used to run from me, right? She was our age, but she was a geek, as they would call. She was a smoker, so she was running from me. She had saw another woman that she frequent. She didn't know that the woman was the police. Oh, wow. So when the lady approached me, the lady didn't necessarily set me up. She was out there looking. She was just looking to get anybody. Anyone, yeah. She didn't specifically point me out. we did the transaction and the lady went on about her business, but I don't think that she necessarily wanted to set me up, because here's the thing that was unique, I say, about it. When she got the work, she got it from out of T's hand. She put it in her mouth and she walked the opposite direction. The police swarmed on me. Mm-hmm. She kept on walking. But she stayed out there all night and she was smoking. They said, we have seen her. She was up in this spot. She was up in that spot. They was pointing to all the spots around the park where she was when I got out. Right? So when y'all came, when we went back out on the block, just hearing a little conversation, the lady had been around. So that was the only person that I sold to.
That day, right. Maybe they was just
I only sold to T. It wasn't T that was the police.
Yes,
it was
lady.
that woman that was the police, but she didn't want to set me up. They were just watching her.
Yes, that's what
because
it was.
when it was time to come to court, she wouldn't come to court. She kept telling them, my attorney told me, she kept saying, Nina never gave me, because that's what they're saying. Nina. She didn't give me nothing. But I can't say that because she wasn't cooperative. She didn't want to be known as that she set me up. She liked me, apparently, because I must have. I didn't know all this until years later. I put it together.
Right.
But she didn't want to set me up. I don't know what trouble she had got in or whatever. But I ended up just getting just probation because it was such a minor thing. They took I think I had like maybe $300 or $500, something like that, something minor, because I just got there. Mm-hmm. And what I did was, you know what? I learned this from just us being out and around. I had a big sock full of dope. Mm-hmm. I had threw it down. It was still there when I got there.
Wow.
But what I got caught with a quarter, right? I got caught with a quarter. I separated it, right? They thought, the geeks, remember you had told me, Nina, you had told my mom or something, or y'all got the car, put the car up for me or whatever. I don't know. But my car, they had raided my car. The geeks did, not the police. The police did, because they didn't know me. Right. I wasn't outside enough. See, remember, we used to sit up in the spots. Mm-hmm. So they didn't know my face enough at that time to say, she's the dope girl. Right. She's gonna, she's out here all the time. Remember, I used to be a little incognito with Smooth, would just pay a geek to bring them to you, get their money, bring it to you, whatever. If you got the geek to do it, they know their people. Mm-hmm. They know their kind. Mm-hmm. If they know, hey, I can go get you some good stuff. I'm gonna bring you the money back. I ain't gonna get your I'm going to make sure you get the right stuff. Right. You're not going to get beat. Boom. Give me the bread. I'll bring it back and we can smoke together. Them was the type of people that I like to deal with because, at the end of the day, it's a bad business, but it's a business. If you do good business, you're going to get treated good. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. So that's what they would say. Like, if you got $100, I match your $100 and we could get this or we could get that, So that's how that went. And then the second time, that was actually just a misdemeanor. Then the second time, once I became an adult, that I got caught on a federal charge.
What was your signs then?
My signs then, I was pregnant. I may have or may have not told this story, but yeah, I might have briefly told a little bit about it. I was pregnant. Mm-hmm. We were going to sell a half a key. And we knew the people, right? But I didn't know. Someone that was with me knew. They knew. They got the lick, right? So we going to hit up the lick. Long story short, we go up in this house. I got the work in my purse, and the dude puts the gun up to me. When he puts the gun up to me, though, he's shaking. Wow. Prior to him pulling the gun up to me, though, he already had been shot up real bad by a friend of mine. He had got shot up, and I didn't know this, but he knew this. He had already been shot up. He had a shit bag on his hip. So he didn't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? As far as he didn't know how he was going to react. He kept asking over and over and over. Whose car is that? Whose car is that? He wanted to know the car that I was in, because the car that I was in, I was affiliated with people that was Crips. Mm-hmm. So he wanted to make sure it wasn't one of their cars, because he seen one of them driving my car before. And when he kept asking me, I got smart with him. I guess he was like, bitch, I'm about to do you.
Wow.
So when he raised the gun, I dropped the dope and we ran. When that happened, right after that happened, I had another incident happen where I was driving a car that was a VIN car. Back then, you could buy cars where they change the VIN numbers on you and sell you a car. Raw ass car. As long as the VIN number matched the license plate, you good. You could drive that car all along. So I bought a VIN truck. In the VIN truck, it was a secret compartment, had like 5 kilos in it. Police pulls it over. They ain't looking for no kilos though. They ain't got no dogs. They just surrounding the car like, this car was in a robbery. This car been stolen. Da-da-da-da-da. Whose car is this? They was knocking on doors and everything because we had just got out the car. The car is sitting right in front of my house. I'm pregnant now. This is right after I got robbed, right?
Wow.
They come to the door. Do you know this person? And girl, they raised this big old picture of this dude. And he looking all behind. We like, hey, telling the detective to back up. Get back. You ain't got no warrant. Do you know him? Has he been around? He's connected to this car. He got to talking and point, but he's looking at all of our faces. Yeah. You know, we're young. We're like 22, 20, years old. We're just standing there like, no, and talking to police and no, telling them, no, we don't know them. And they left. I say those were signs because they told the car. They told that car.
Did they?
They told that car.
With the stuff in it.
And with the stuff in it, we got that stuff up out that car. Before they didn't even know. They didn't even know because where they had it parked at, in the towing part, it was right up against the fence. Crawled in there and got that stuff.
Oh my God! For real?
Back then, it wasn't like that. If you didn't jump on that and get electrocuted, you was good. They weren't thinking you could crawl up under the fence. Right. If they worried about a car leaving out of there, they didn't think of somebody trying to break in a car. Wasn't no alarm on the car. Popped that thing open, got that stuff up out of there, and got on. Yes. I had to tell that story. But yeah, and we got the stuff back. But guess what? When I got caught, that's what I got caught with. I said it was 5. That's what I got caught with. Wow. I got caught with the stuff. So I didn't get caught with 5. I only got caught with 1. But I'm just saying, it was within a same 30-day period.
Oh my goodness.
It was right then. Like, no. I take that back. The jacking was at the end of the summer. So right before September, them coming to take the car from the impound was like, putting the car in the impound was like November.
Oh, right.
It was 2 months later. And then me going to jail was December the 4th, 1996. Right? I went into the hospital, into labor. See, I was big pregnant. I went in the hospital into labor on Thanksgiving.
Right.
I got caught on a Monday. I went to jail. To you on the phone right before Thanksgiving. Yeah. A couple days before Thanksgiving. Yes, you did. And I went into labor. I got out the hospital. I was in the labor for that weekend. That Monday, they raided my house. The Tuesday I was in jail. Wednesday I was out of jail. My mom got me out of jail and they made me go to jail back to be at my mom's house. And that's another thing with signs. I'm glad that I was at my mom's house and I had the discipline because I felt like, let me keep selling dope. When they raided my house, they didn't find the gun that I had there and they didn't find I had dope in the pocket too. They saw that big old kilo and they just they stuck on that. But let me tell you how God it keeps his guardian angels around you. There was a police officer looked like Dennis the Menace, right? I forget his name.
Like Dennis the Menace?
He did. He looked just like Dennis the Menace. He was undercover. He was the feds. Okay. He went in a closet and he looked in the closet. He was like, "Did you check there?" He lift the a telephone book up. He saw the pistol. He set it right back down. He touched it. It was covered. It was in a holster. He saw the gun. He set the pistol down. He put the book there. He put the the coat that was back over there. He checked all the pockets. He probably felt the dope in the pocket. He didn't. He threw the coats down, threw them all back in the closet, threw that in there. Said that's good. That's been checked. And when he saw me sitting over in the corner with my baby, he just stared at me. And then he went back downstairs in the basement where the dope was. He checked all the other rooms too. But before he went down them stairs, he made sure he looked directly at me and just shook his head. That police officer, I can honestly say, he saved my life because at that time, I was 23 years old. Mm-hmm. Under the feds, that was my first time offense. Mm-hmm. I got caught with a kilo. I had a brand new baby, plus I already had a 7-year-old. Mm-hmm. I'm 22, 23 years old. If I would have had a gun as well, I would have had 25 years easy. And I know in his mind, he said even though she's got caught with a key of mostly crack cocaine, some powder, she got some time to get back to this baby. He had to have said that, or that was God speaking through him. Mm-hmm. Because that man,
because it would have been a violent offense too.
He could, but just think about the violations I was in.
Ooh.
I had a brand new baby in the house with me with a whole kilo of cocaine and a gun. And some more dope in my other pocket. So it just shows that when you are to sit your butt down
and listen to the signs. Listen to the signs,
because I would have just probably been getting out now. Mm. Just think, I would have easily, or maybe with all the laws passing and things, I wouldn't have had time to worry about that. But I would have definitely
done
20. That was a gun and dope. No. And then when they came in my house, they said they was looking for guns, drugs, and gang members. Remember what the dude said?
Yeah.
Remember what dude said? Is that the Crips car? Mm-hmm. I'm like, is you the police? Mm-hmm. Because back then, you had to ask, if you asked, was that the police, they had to tell you, they had to verify themselves.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't the police. That was just different signs of, get your shit together.
Yeah.
You're in college. You was in fashion school. Yeah. I was designing. At the time, I was writing. Mm-hmm. There was no reason I had money. I was not stricken of any kind of money. You know, I was planning to go back to Atlanta, Georgia to go to college, Clark Atlanta University. I was planning to, I had applied for that. So I was going to go back to college there and move there.
Right.
I just think of where my life would have been had I would have made the right choices.
Right.
But I made the wrong choice and went to prison. I don't regret it. Mm-hmm. I'm grateful for this life, for my life.
It's building character.
It built my character to be, stronger. Mm-hmm. And the experiences of what I've went through has made me definitely a better person. I don't regret prison. I don't regret none of it. I just do think often of the life I could have led had I not went for those 8 years. Spending that time being sentenced,
away from your kids.
Being blessed to be sentenced to 10 years versus, because I was 121 to 235 months. So I was at 10 to 19 and a half years. That's without a gun. They didn't know nothing about a gun. I never had a gun charge, none of that.
Right.
But just think if I would have had a gun charge, that would have been, there's my life right there. Mm-hmm. So definitely God speaks to you before you go and put yourself in destruction. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The calm before the storm, that's a very true statement.
It is.
Because he showed me that be grateful that I passed you. I spared you. You know what I'm saying? I gave your guardian angels the chance to guard around you and keep you covered. And all I thought when I first, what your first prayers of when you come into prison, I just said, sanity.
Yeah,
Keep my sanity. Mm-hmm. Please keep me safe and healthy. Mm-hmm. Please keep my sanity.
Those are the main
Please
things.
keep me safe and healthy, because your health
is your
you
wealth.
never want it to exactly.
Health is
you
wealth.
don't never want it to deteriorate in amongst strangers, right? That should be anyone's biggest fear. You all that's out there listening, viewers, that should be your biggest fear of even thinking about committing a crime to go to jail. You never want anyone to be in control of your life as far as your health.
Yep,
health as well.
I've seen a couple people get really sick in prison and even die.
Yes, exactly. Think about the people that's in prison that they're healthy and they don't even have $1.
Right.
But they're very healthy and they're happy.
Yeah.
I'd rather be healthy than have money. I'd rather have my health than money.
Me too. Exactly.
I sleep on the floor. I could sleep anywhere. Everybody laughs at me. I could fall asleep in a chair. But I learned that, I developed that in prison. I could sleep light and I could sleep anywhere. I could sleep sitting up.
Yep.
I said one of my goals on my bucket list was to learn how to Army sleeps in water. They sleep standing up. They would they know how to position their body where they could sleep standing up against the trees. Some of them know how to sleep in water. Right. It's not like high water above your head or you're underground. Oh no, that would never work. They're not fish.
Right.
But if they have to stand in a position to where they're hunting, sniping, they have to, seek out people. They have to know how to walk in water. They got to know how to sleep in water. They might have to land up against a tree to where they don't go to a deep sleep, but just rest their eyes and rest their body. You know what I'm saying? They know how. I want to learn that.
That's a great skill.
Definitely a great skill. So look. The Army is just like prison. Yeah. And see, in federal, learn discipline. Federal is the same numbers as Army people that are in the Army. When I first was locked up, I was down in Fort Worth, Texas. I was on an Army base. Oh, yeah. Wow. So their numbers, your prison numbers, just like the Army. They'll ask, was you in the Army? Unless the ID says federal prison, of course, you was in federal prison. But the IDs are just like the Army, the people that are in the Army. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of Meet the Shu. Make sure you catch up every Monday morning.